What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit man. Turn. Today, tomorrow, today. So you're outside, big crip in the gang. So you're outside, shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia, deal thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day, be a better version of yourself. Never let's not bring you down, always fight back. Never let's not tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position to belong. Let's stay humble. Let's get a revolution on the moment. Kick y'all first. Come to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out you. Alright. Boom. Today, tomorrow, today. So you're outside, big crip in the gang. So you're outside, shit, man. Gang. You know, turn. Alright, bruh. So look at this shit, man. Bruh, that's the thing about being famous and rich. You like, anywhere you go, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? When you at the crib, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? When you doing anything can happen. I mean, that can happen to you if you're not neither one of them. But it's more of a high risk chance that, because everybody, a lot more people know you than what you know, your normal people know you. So we got 6IX9INE, the Island Boys. So 6IX9INE, mom house got raided. What? It got robbed basically, but then got raided, and then the Island Boys got raided by the FBI, and the FBI was raiding the mama house because it got robbed, because they were trying to say that maybe the Island Boys had something to do with it. It's just goofy shit, bro. And also, we gonna break down 6IX9INE career and how he keep on coming back. And let's get through it. Shout out to IDN TV. 6IX9INE mom was held hostage in a late night home invasion. Nigga, that shit was going crazy. If you look into it, man, that's the thing, man. 6IX9INE might be an informant, an FBI protected agency custody, but his family not.
It was supposed to be a normal Sunday night, but instead, it turned into one of the scariest moments in Tekashi 69's entire life. While he was miles away live streaming with an influencer, 4 masked men were storming into his Florida home and holding a 60-year-old mother outside against her will, and the craziest part, she had no idea.
And then 6IX9INE even did speak on this shit.
What they came for. But before we get into what happened inside that house, you have to understand something about Tekashi. Nothing in his world is ever quiet. His entire career has been built on controversy, risk, and enemies. From the moment he exploded on the scene with rainbow hair and trolling the entire rap game, to the federal case that changed everything, Tekashi has always lived in a world where danger isn't just possible, it's expected. Whether you like him or hate him, you can't deny this. Tekashi is one of the most recognizable rap figures in the world. And that spotlight comes with a price, a big one. People know where he lives. They know how he moves. They know he keeps money, jewelry, and cars around him at all times. And sometimes people who watch you from a distance decide they want what you have. That's the part of fame they never put in the music videos.
What up, Steven? Yo, what up? Yo, so when y'all show up to Designer, go see. Real rich people do.
Damn.
So now imagine this. It's quiet outside. His home sitting behind gates in Palm Beach County. His mother is inside the house. She's just going about her night. Probably comfortable, probably trusting the neighborhood. And then out of nowhere,
comfortable as hell, nigga, too
masked, armed, focused. They weren't window shopping. They weren't looking around. They walked straight to the house like they had a mission. According to what was reported, the men physically held Tekashi's mother outside the home.
No me hagas así, Daniel.
¿Troca qué? Lo que sea. Lamborghini o troca. Troca. ¿Troca? Abre los ojos. ¡Ay, qué lindo! Es un Lamborghini troca. Bonito. Está lindo. Qué lindo. Qué lindo, me gusta. By the way, my mom's an immigrant.
I knew it.
60 years old.
I knew it.
Doesn't know how to drive.
I knew it.
Wants a car so
I
bad.
think I was about to say that's so much different from one of the coyotes or Sudan, bitch.
Dios te va a bendecir siempre porque eres un gran
She used to be with them caravans and the coyotes and
Just
shit.
think about that for a second. A
Straight
60-year-old
out from
woman
Mexico,
suddenly
bitch.
surrounded by strangers with weapons, not knowing if this is a robbery, a kidnapping, or something worse. The only thing she knows is they want something, and they're not asking politely. While she's held outside, the rest of the suspects run inside the house and start tearing through every room they can.
There's a lot
Not looking
different
for
from the
paperwork,
motherfucking
not chasing jewelry.
jumping.
They demanded two things: cash and car keys.
80 niggas, 80 motherfuckers in the back of the trunk, bitch.
And they wanted quick money and access
You
to
probably
whatever
fit
expensive car they knew
200
Tekashi had sitting in the
motherfuckers. You probably
driveway
fit
or
200
garage.
Mexicans in the back of this. Fuck 200, 300 Mexicans in the back of this shit. Have you ever seen them Sudans, bitch? And them coyotes and shit. You bring all the goddamn Mexicans over. I bet it's like 300 Mexicans in the back of that shit. That's a fact.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I know I crashed your car mad times. I thought we was even.
Motherfucker talking shit about us, niggas, beaners. Niggas talking mad shit about us.
Me gusta.
Sit down the hoe.
Si pegas te dice, ¿cómo te dice? No. But here's the shocking twist. Tekashi wasn't even home. He wasn't in the studio. He wasn't on the road. He was live streaming with Jack Doherty on Instagram, laughing, talking,
Not
completely
Jack
unaware
Doherty.
that everything inside his home was falling apart.
That motherfucker a zesball.
We outside. Here with my boy Jack.
Yes, sir.
Fresh home.
Yeah, straight out of jail, baby.
Oh, your mugshot?
Yeah. And we're live on Party.
And this is where the timing gets
Big
cold.
goofy ass.
Because while he was cracking jokes on live, the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office was racing to his house with a K-9 unit. Deputies rush inside, expecting to find suspects still in the home.
I wonder who called 12, head ass. I wonder who called 12, built that. Nigga still probably came in that bitch. 12 was already like tripping. Trip.
Instead, nothing. The 4 men were gone.
Well, you can't take
Vanished.
6IX9INE
In
serious,
and out
bruh. I
before law
swear.
enforcement could lock the area down, and according to investigators, there's a real chance the suspects escaped in a vehicle before deputies even arrived. It was organized. It was fast. It was surgical. And it raises a
Probably motherfucker
question.
ain't drinking a Corona,
Were these
bitch.
just random burglars hoping to hit a celebrity home? Or were they watching Tekashi specifically? Because the timing feels too perfect. They struck when he wasn't home. They struck late, on a night he normally doesn't move around, and they didn't waste time rummaging through things. They knew exactly what they wanted. It's hard not to wonder if this was targeted, because Tekashi isn't just any rapper. He has public enemies, internet beefs, old street problems, and a long list of people who feel some type of way about him, and whether the gunman knew his mother was inside or not, they clearly didn't care. What's even crazier is that Tekashi has been trying to keep a low profile in recent years. He's been moving quietly, especially after past incidents where he was attacked, robbed, or jumped. But no matter how quiet he tries to move, somehow trouble always finds him. That's the curse of
He the
being
world
one of the
biggest
most
rat.
polarizing rappers of the last decade. And now, after this incident, the questions only get bigger. How did they find the house? How did they know he wasn't home? Why did they go straight for
Bruh,
money and
6IX9INE
car
probably post that
keys?
shit on
And what does
internet.
this mean for his safety moving forward? Because if 4 armed men can walk into your home while your mother is there, you're not safe. Not in Miami. Not in New York. Not anywhere.
That's a fact.
The Palm Beach
He
Sheriff's
might as
Office
well
says
move
they're
back to fucking
investigating, but
Columbia,
as of right
Mexico.
now, there are no suspects
Nah,
in
that cartel
custody,
gonna get his
no
ass. I don't
arrests,
fucking
no
know.
names, no suspects on camera that we know of, just 4 masked men who walked in and walked out like ghosts. And that leaves Tekashi in a position he's never been comfortable in. Not having control, not knowing who targeted him, not knowing if they'll come back, not knowing if someone inside his circle might have tipped off the wrong people. Because anytime a robbery is that clean, people start to wonder. For Tekashi, this incident is a wake-up call. You can have millions, you can have fame, you can have a mansion in Florida, but none of that matters when you live in a lifestyle where danger sits right outside the gate. As for his mother, she's lucky to be alive.
That's a fact.
That's not an exaggeration. An invasion with armed suspects can go wrong in 1 second.
That's a
The
fact.
fact she walked away unharmed is a blessing, and the fact Tekashi wasn't home, that might have saved the situation from becoming something far worse.
If Tekashi was home, nigga, it would have been over.
But here's the part that people forget. When you're a celebrity with a long history of beef, trolling, and public drama, you're not just risking your own life. You're risking the people around you, your family, your parents, your loved ones. And this incident just proved that in the harshest way possible. What comes next for Tekashi? More security, no doubt. A tighter circle, maybe less online exposure, maybe more paranoia. Because once your home has been breached, you never look at your front door the same again. And at the end of the day, whether you rock with Tekashi or not, one thing is clear. Being famous doesn't protect you. It exposes you. This lifestyle, with this many enemies and a spotlight this bright, would you feel safe? Or would you always be looking over your shoulder, wondering if the next knock at your door is a fan or something far worse?
Nigga, if you ran it this big, nigga, like you couldn't trust nobody.
Even during a Vlad TV interview, he told the whole world that he can't have armed security near him.
Look up the system is. Let's go. Look this up. They say 6IX9INE can't have armed guards. You can't have guns around you. Really? Okay. Didn't know that.
Damn.
Look it up. We appealed it in the appeals court. 3 higher judges said, how are you going to blast this kid's cooperation and then take his guns away?
BB guns?
Overturn the court's ruling so you could have armed security. Gave me guns back. Right.
Okay.
Right? And we're in Florida, so you could have a carry permit pretty easily.
Tell me where you live, huh?
March 12th, 2025. I get raided. They find it here, right? It's concealed. It's permitted right by my brother. The judge, it's concealed? I don't understand that part. It's licensed. He has a license. Okay, yeah, your brother's gun. Yeah. Right, got it. My brother gives, this property. He gives the document. Right. This is mine. My brother has nothing to do with it. The judge ruled.
This is crazy,
April 21st.
I don't care.
I'm stripping his gun license away. Whoa. Okay. Right? Crazy.
I mean, thank God he go to work, that's his mama.
Right?
But
this
hey,
guy's armed in the mall.
they don't come out them niggas they arrested.
I'm no longer able to have licensed security. You understand me now? I feel you. I feel you, right? You're in a catch-22. I could put my glasses on. Damn, can I put my glasses back on? Go for it. David.
Out to Rapp redefined. Feds raid Island Boys after alleged 6IX9INE break-in. But I don't know. They're both zesty rainbows. I don't know.
If I see one more comment about someone talking about 6IX9INE, I'm gonna get mad. Stop talking about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear a theory about it. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, it was this. Oh, yo, Red. Listen, boy, listen. Stop that. Okay? You guys are costing me a lot of trouble. Okay? Detectives came to me already.
Damn, okay? Over the 6IX9INE shit?
Like, it's getting ridiculous. They're going to my mom. Like, this is a big problem.
Damn.
If you guys keep going with this Island Boy stuff, I promise you I'm going to get mad.
He's talked openly about not having security, and then he's advertising that he's not home on this live stream.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's silly. I don't know why he's out there bragging about not having security, because he definitely needs security.
Damn.
And this is not going to go away for multiple reasons. He's an easy target. When you walk around with $250,000 in jewelry on you, if you insist on walking around with that type of money, then you need professional help. And your friends hanging out with you obviously are insufficient. You need people that know what they're doing.
just take classes.
The whole internet froze the moment news broke that the feds had raided the Island Boys spot after that wild alleged break-in involving 6IX9INE, and people were acting like this was some movie scene come to life. One minute, the Island Boys are online, flashing grills and arguing with random influencers, and the next thing you know, federal agents are pulling up on them with gloves, flashlights, and folders thick enough to make anybody nervous. It's like the entire situation flipped overnight, and the crazy part is, nobody even saw the storm coming until it was already in their front yard. What set everything off was the rumor that somebody tried breaking into a property connected to 6IX9INE. And somehow the Island Boys' names floated into the mix before the dust even settled. That alone had social media spinning because these dudes stay getting dragged into drama without even trying. But this time the accusations weren't coming from trolls or random comment sections. The whispers were coming from sources close to law enforcement, which made everything hit way harder. But the wildest part? The Island Boys had no clue the situation.
I think they be getting mad at each other at 6IX9 because it's just like sexual frustration.
The cameras from neighbors caught everything. Agents stepping through the gates like they already knew exactly what they were looking for.
I think if, God forbid, it doesn't go in your guys' direction, for real, I think you guys take all of your jewelry assets and invest into something. So you guys will never, ever be broke again.
Hold on. No, hold on.
Podcast.
No.
Here, I'll move it for you. I was giving you nice advice, bro.
People were outside trying to figure out why the feds were moving so heavy. This wasn't some local officers checking on noise complaints. This was a coordinated federal sweep, and the Island Boys looked completely blindsided. You can tell from the footage that the energy was tense. The agents weren't playing around, and they didn't come to ask friendly questions. They came with boxes, scanners, and a search list that had folks online raising eyebrows like, hold on, what exactly did they think these dudes had in the house?
But these niggas not even built like that, to be honest.
Especially because the break-in involving 6IX9INE hadn't even been fully confirmed yet. And already the Island Boys' names were circulating like they were prime suspects in some Hollywood-level chaos. Now, the Island Boys aren't strangers to heat. They've been through messy accusations, public fights, family drama, lawsuits, beefs with other creators, everything you can imagine. But this situation felt different because the feds don't show up unless they believe something serious is happening behind the scenes. So everybody was trying to connect the dots. Was this really about the alleged break-in? Was this retaliation? Was this misunderstanding? Or did somebody drop their names into the mix to stir up trouble? Nobody knew, and the lack of answers only made the situation go more viral. Neighbors reported hearing loud banging early in the morning, followed by agents telling everyone inside to come out with their hands visible. People swear they heard dogs barking, radios crackling, and agents talking into mics like they were coordinating a whole operation.
Mom thought it was sweet, huh?
The feds hit you with that step outside.
She might want to move back to Mexico, bitch.
The Island Boys stepped out looking confused, irritated, and low-key scared because who wouldn't be?
Stop mentioning me in your videos. Stop.
Damn.
Or whatever videos you're mentioning, stop mentioning in the comment section. Stop. Stop. You see me?
Eyeglass.
This wasn't the type of attention they wanted.
like
Especially with the cameras already rolling, neighbors watching from across the street, and social media ready to clown them before the truth even came out. What made everything crazier is that as the agents searched the property, rumors started flying that they were looking for specific electronics, phones, tablets, storage devices, the type of stuff that could connect communication between whoever was involved in that alleged 6IX9INE situation. That's when people online started saying things like, Josh, say he is in trouble.
Hairline, bitch?
Because if the feds start checking devices, that means they think someone knows more than they're letting on. The internet turned into a full-blown detective squad, trying to figure out what the agents found, who they talked to, and whether this raid was just the beginning of a bigger investigation that nobody had prepared for.
Hey, for anyone that's saying that I had robbed somebody's house, 6IX9INE, Red is in the west coast of Florida, and I was in Vegas. I just got to Florida, just now. I'm riding a taxi. I just got to Florida. What you saying? You tripping? I ain't robbed nothing, man.
Minutes felt like hours as the agents went into every room, every drawer, every closet. They pulled out boxes, bags, and items wrapped in evidence paper. While nothing was confirmed publicly, witnesses said the agents walked out carrying things that didn't look random at all. They looked targeted, purposeful, like they knew exactly which items they needed to grab. That's when the internet really exploded because now people were convinced something way bigger was happening behind the scenes. The Island Boys reps tried to come out quickly with a statement saying everything was a misunderstanding, but by then the internet had already decided the story was too wild to walk back. Memes were being posted every second, clips were going viral, and fans were saying the Island Boys were living out the consequences of being mixed up in drama all the time. But the truth was still hidden. Nobody knew what the feds actually found, which only made the situation feel even more chaotic. And through all that noise, one thing became clear. Whatever the feds were searching for, they didn't treat the raid like a casual visit. They treated it like something that mattered.
Yeah, that's their
serious,
informant.
something that could change everything for the
That's
Island Boys.
That's the FBI informant.
If I see one more comment about someone talking about 6ix9ine, I'm gonna get mad. Stop talking about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear a theory about it. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, it was this. Yo, Red. Listen, boy.
You can't get that Snapchat
Stop that. Okay? You guys are causing me a lot of trouble. Okay? Detectives came to me already. Okay? Like, it's getting ridiculous. They're going to my mom. Like, this is a big problem.
No.
If you guys keep going with this Island Boy stuff, I promise you I'm gonna get mad.
Ooh.
The moment word spread that
we don't want to see him when he get mad with that ass.
Boy's house was an alleged break-in connected to 6ix9ine. The narrative online took a whole new turn, and people started treating the story like a real-life crime saga. Suddenly, everyone became an investigator, digging for clues, breaking down footage, and rewriting timelines like they were building a whole documentary. And the craziest part is that 6ix9ine himself didn't say a word at first, which made people even more suspicious because whenever something dramatic happens, that man normally jumps straight onto social media with a camera ready and a caption waiting to go viral.
Crazy
but
shit.
This time, silence. And silence from 6ix9ine always means something bigger is brewing behind the scenes. That's why fans started assuming somebody tried to target him, and somehow the Island Boys' names popped into the conversation way too fast. People online were saying it felt too convenient and too dramatic, like somebody was trying to drag the Island Boys into a mess they didn't even create.
Fake news and rumors. So the world knows this. It's a fact. I'm on house arrest. I've been on house arrest. I think everyone in America and everyone across the world knows that I'm on house arrest. Yesterday, they allowed me to leave for work. People, I guess, saw that I was on live stream with Jack Doherty. They took that opportunity to do some. Like I said, it's me, so I get it. The rules are different for me. But if it was your favorite artist, your favorite actor,
man, get the fuck.
and that was done, they don't get no cool points for that.
Man,
My mom is 60 years old.
That don't mean nothing, bitch. You live in a fucking mansion, bitch.
So y'all take the opportunity that I'm not home. Y'all see me on live stream
with a fucking Lambo.
Miami. Y'all do that.
Bitch, they see that as charges, nigga.
Get no coupon for. I don't think nobody respects that.
But rumors don't wait for facts. They just spread like wildfire. And by the time the sun came up, millions of people were already arguing about whether the Island Boys were involved, framed, clueless, or just at the wrong place in the wrong moment. Inside the house, sources said the Island Boys were frustrated because they didn't understand why the feds were acting like they were holding hidden secrets. Imagine waking up thinking it's a normal day of posting videos, arguing with fans, or showing off tattoos, and suddenly federal agents are in your living room opening drawers, scanning devices, and acting like they're piecing together a whole crime map.
That's the FBI informant, nigga.
Especially when the feds start asking questions about 6ix9ine, a rapper known for controversy, legal chaos, and unpredictable connections. Even hearing his name in a federal investigation is enough to make anyone's stomach drop. And this is where things get even messier. Witnesses said the feds were specifically trying to trace communication between multiple people connected to the alleged break-in. That's when the internet went wild, saying the Island Boys might have been talking to someone they shouldn't have, even if they weren't directly involved. People start assuming everything once the feds show up, and fans were already making theories like they were reading from a leaked police report. Some folks were claiming they heard an agent say the word coordination. Others swore they saw the feds pulling screenshots from a folder.
Man,
one neighbor even told reporters he overheard someone say, "This matches the timeline," which made the situation sound like something straight out of a crime show. But here's the twist. None of this was confirmed publicly, and that uncertainty is what made the drama explode even more. The Island Boys were standing outside trying to stay calm, but you could tell their nerves were on edge. Their faces said everything: confusion, worry, anger, and a whole lot of why is this happening right now?
They had that bitch come outside and everything.
No, I don't even think Island Boys.
No, I swear, that's what I saw. I swear.
There were kids in this neighborhood.
He's like,
let
my
me get that
go
real
disappear.
There's 230 homes
And she
in my
an
neighborhood.
Nigga, she would have been gone.
What it's pointing out to be, yeah, he didn't do that then. But what was pointed out to be that it was kids in the neighborhood because there was no car that came in, no car that left. So it was white kids at that. No way. Oh, hell no. There was no tattoos, so are you gonna be this myth that it was those two brothers and there's no tattoos, their face was able to see, there was no tats, so that's just a myth. It's just Instagram conspiracies, whatever fuck. But anyway, long story short, I'm glad that my mom's okay, I'm glad that my dog's okay, I'm glad that my family's okay.
Amazing.
And yeah, these people took the opportunity when I wasn't home.
The cameras captured their frustration as agents walked by holding bags of seized items. In one clip, even caught one of the twins shaking his head like he couldn't believe someone might have dragged their names into something involving 6ix9ine without them even knowing. And then came the part that sent the internet into a frenzy. The feds walked out with a small sealed tech case, one that definitely didn't look like something they grabbed just because it was lying around. These cases usually hold hard drives, flash storage, encrypted devices, or anything connected to digital communication. The moment people saw that, they started saying, "Josh, say he is in trouble," like they were quoting a prophecy. Suddenly, everyone was convinced the feds found exactly what they wanted, even though there was still no official word on what was inside that case. But the way the agents handled it, carefully, seriously, and with tight security, made it clear that whatever it wasn't random. As the raid continued, the Island Boys' neighbors described seeing agents talking amongst themselves, checking paperwork, and pointing at maps or photos laid out on a vehicle hood. That alone had fans screaming online because it made the search feel way more intense than anyone expected. The Island Boys brand is wild, chaotic, and viral, but even they didn't seem ready for this level of federal attention.
Y'all remember when Island Boys talking about how they got kidnapped?
Whether they did anything or not, the internet was already painting its own storyline. And once social media decides a narrative, it spreads faster than truth ever could. Then came another wave of chaos. People claiming 6ix9ine's team had been gathering info before the raid. Some online personalities said they heard 6ix9ine had been cooperating, while others said he had nothing to do with the raid at all. The contradictions had everyone confused, but that didn't stop the gossip. Every influencer with a microphone jumped in, adding more noise, more theories, and more drama. Some said the Island Boys were being used as easy targets, while others insisted the feds must have had enough evidence to justify a raid in the first place.
But what? I don't know why they would go to the Island Boys. Island Boys not big like that.
Calls from friends, family, managers, everybody trying to find out what was happening. One insider said the twins were arguing with someone on speakerphone saying stuff like, "We didn't do nothing," and "Why our names even in this?" And honestly, their confusion looked real. They didn't look like masterminds hiding evidence. They looked like influencers caught in something way over their heads. By the time the feds wrapped up the search, the Island Boys knew the situation wasn't going away anytime soon. And what made it worse, they still didn't know exactly who named them, why they were connected to the alleged 6ix9ine break-in, or what evidence the feds thought they had. All they knew was this raid was the type of thing that changes everything: reputations, relationships, opportunities, and the internet was already preparing for the next chapter of the chaos. When the feds finally wrapped up their raid on the Island Boys' house, you could feel the air shift. Like everybody knew this situation wasn't ending just because the agents drove off. The twins stood outside watching everything carefully, and even though they tried to act calm, you could see the weight settling in, because once the feds hit your doorstep, life doesn't go back to normal overnight.
Oh, yeah.
And the strangest part, the agents didn't walk away empty-handed. They left with bags, devices, boxes, and that mysterious sealed case strapped tighter than a vault, which instantly had the internet convinced that this story was far from over. The Island Boys kept saying the situation was misunderstood, but the internet wasn't trying to hear that. People were posting their own theories like they were solving a national case. Influencers were dropping videos every hour claiming insider info about how the twins supposedly ended up tangled in a mess connected to 6ix9ine. And the irony? Nobody even knew exactly what happened during the alleged break-in or who was actually involved, yet somehow the Island Boys became the faces of the entire situation without any official confirmation. That's the type of internet chaos that can ruin reputations before the truth even gets a chance to breathe.
Destination is
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, lawyers were already getting involved because when federal agents take electronics, that means they expect digital evidence to tell a story. And the Island Boys knew it too. They weren't just dealing with rumors anymore. They were dealing with the type of investigation that digs through everything. Messages, calls, timestamps, cloud backups, deleted files, all of it. Even if someone else dragged their names in, the feds weren't going to take anybody's word for it. They were going to follow every breadcrumb until the story made sense. That realization alone had people online saying Josh Tekashi is in trouble. Like it was the official theme of the entire situation. As hours passed, more details leaked from people close to the investigation. And one thing kept getting repeated. This raid wasn't random. Agents don't wake up and decide to check an influencer's house for fun. Something or someone put the Island Boys on the radar. And that's when fingers started pointing towards 6IX9INE's chaotic orbit. Anytime something wild happens around him, the story never stays small. It always turns into a circus full of unexpected twists, messy drama, and people getting pulled into situations they never asked for. And because the Island Boys had a shaky relationship with him, sometimes cool, sometimes tense, it made fans assume they were somehow connected, even if they weren't. But here's the real twist nobody expected. Some insiders said the whole raid might have been triggered by confusion in the early reports. Supposedly, investigators were given names, locations, and digital contacts connected to people around 6IX9INE. And somehow the Island Boys got mixed into that circle just because of old conversations or past interactions. Imagine being raided because someone who once texted you is now part of an active investigation. That's the type of mistake that could turn anyone's world upside down. And if that's what really happened, then the twins might have been hit with the fallout of someone else's actions without even knowing they were on anybody's list. But even with all these theories flying around, one thing remained solid. The Island Boys' reactions looked real.
At least about 5 to 10K on money.
They didn't look guilty. They looked overwhelmed, stressed, and tired of being dragged into drama whenever their names trend online. Their whole brand is being loud, flashy, and unpredictable. But this situation forced them into a position that wasn't entertainment, it was survival. People forget that once the feds touch your property, you're dealing with a whole different world. That's not clout, that's not internet jokes, that's real pressure. And the neighborhood wasn't helping either. Folks were outside whispering, recording, exaggerating, and adding their own dramatic flavor to the story. Someone claimed the feds found something major. Another said they saw blueprints. One lady even said she heard the agents mention tracking software, even though none of that was confirmed. But this is how these situations spiral. The truth gets buried under a mountain of neighbor gossip and TikTok detectives trying to go viral. Once the community starts talking, that noise becomes the unofficial storyline, whether it's accurate or not. By the end of the day, the Island Boys were sitting inside their house trying to figure out how their normal morning turned into a federal raid tied to an alleged 6IX9INE break-in they claimed they knew nothing about. And the reality is this situation isn't ending anytime soon. The feds don't move fast. They investigate layer by layer, and once they have your devices, they're going to look at everything, even things that have nothing to do with the case. That's why the Island Boys team was scrambling to get ahead of the narrative, because the internet already decided they were guilty before any facts even came out. What happens next will depend on what the feds found, what the investigation reveals, and whether the Island Boys were actually involved, or just casualties of being too connected to too many messy people in the industry. And until the truth drops, this story is going to keep shaking the internet, because the mix of federal raids, influencers, controversy, and 6IX9INE's name in the middle is exactly the type of drama that blows up everywhere instantly.
Shout out to 1111. You know what I'm saying? Why 6IX9INE just won't go away?
No matter how many times the internet tries to cancel him, somehow 6IX9INE always finds his way back into the spotlight. But despite the fact that it's been years since he was taken seriously as a rapper, if nobody cares about 6IX9INE's music anymore, then how does he keep going so viral?
5, 4, 5, 9. I talk facts, Vlad. I talk facts. I'm organic. Wherever I go, if I'm not here, I'm in Spanish. If I'm not in Spanish, I come back.
Every few months, it's a guarantee that 6IX9INE will pop back up and become unavoidable on the internet. But again, our question remains: how is 6IX9INE still winning in a game that has already canceled them? 6IX9INE's career should have been over a long time ago. And to be honest, there have been multiple months where it seemed like it was, such as most recently back in March, when 6ix9ine was forced to watch 63 of his personal chains and even music plaques get auctioned off by the IRS after not paying his taxes, thus allowing fans to literally purchase some of his most prized achievements.
Baby, yo, shut up. Oh my god, guys, yo, we just got this thing in. You have no idea how excited I am to see this thing. Here we go. Oh my god, this thing is sick. No joke, it actually looks sick up here. We usually put Christmas stockings right here, but I like 6ix9ine up there anyway.
But despite how demoralizing this must have been for 6ix9ine, and despite the entire internet now assuming he was broke, as the cycle always seems to go though, 6ix9ine has found his way right back into the spotlight.
Doesn't mean you have to put hands on him, right? You know why people don't like me? I took the truth. Yo, you did this? Yes. Yeah, you're admitting to it. Yeah. I admit to everything. I did that. We talked about everything. You didn't duck anything. I think it's, I personally, I mean, for me, it's the biggest interview. I think it's my big,
man,
you know, my interview of the year. When the dust settles, we'll see
right.
how other people take it, but it's getting a lot of. When the dust settles,
anything to go to black community, they gonna fuck with
it, but it's getting a lot of views right now.
6ix9ine's new interview with DJ Vlad is indeed getting a lot of fucking views right now. Just passing 15 million in a month to be precise. Again, this will likely go down as the biggest interview of the entire year. Whether you love him or hate him, 6ix9ine just won't go away. But yet, as we're about to answer, there's one key reason that is actually hidden in his new contract, which will tell us all we need to know.
He hasn't really made that many waves over the last couple years, and it's almost like people have really counted him out in terms of even being somebody that people were interested in. And now it seems like people have a renewed interest in him, but I'm curious if that could ever translate to the music.
Believe it or not, there was actually a time when 6ix9ine was one of the hottest up-and-coming rappers in the game, beginning to gain mainstream traction in 2017 thanks to his classic SoundCloud hit Pulse 1469, a collab with his old pal Trippie Redd, another SoundCloud legend, who 6ix9ine now states, though,
he's trash. But like I said, he was buzzing. So listen, this funny. Damn, I want to take my glasses off because it complements the wig and the shoes. So like, if I take the glasses off, I really want to take them off.
Told you wear wigs.
In addition to dissing Trippie Redd and multiple other rappers throughout his 3.5 hour sit-down interview, 6ix9ine does not hold back at all as he tells his life story, revealing new insights into the most controversial moments of his career, starting by telling us this about his breakout solo hit from 2017 titled Gummo, currently sitting at 500 million views just on YouTube.
Trippie Redd said the Gummo beat was supposed to be for him, but you stole it. Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Nigga, I stole that shit. I'm honest. Don't even deny it. That's cool. I talk facts. What deny? What? Give me that. You don't know what to do with that. Okay. You know when I got a girl, her shit fat, bro, you don't know what to do with that. Give me that. That's what I did to that little nigga. Give me that. You don't know what to do with that. Pierre Bourne, I took his shit because they don't know what to do with that. Pierre Bourne could have hopped on his shit. He could have hopped on his own shit. Hey, yo, Pierre, come out here and do what? And you know Gummo's a Trippie Redd diss, right? I didn't realize that. Yeah. Okay.
As it turns out, not only did 6ix9ine steal the Gummo beat, but he also dissed Trippie Redd on it too. Yet, despite its now double platinum status, if you ask the producer behind Gummo's fire instrumental though, Pierre Bourne, Pierre would take it all back in an instant.
I never wanted to have anything to do with that song just because of how they went about releasing it. It was very disrespectful. Very like, you, basically. And it's like, I didn't want the money.
F that Gummo song. All y'all doing weird shit some ops, I swear. Read this post by Pierre. No more Trippie and Pierre, y'all ruined it. Upset that his beat was stolen and released without permission. Obviously, 6ix9ine though didn't seem to care. Which is something that you'll notice will just continue to be a bigger theme as we advance through this video. 6ix9ine lives for chaos. But it is this very same chaos that is barely keeping him afloat today. Like for real, why is he out here playing shows in just his underwear?
Looking like Ray J out there.
However, prior to trying everything he can think of for views, back in 2018 though, numbers were not an issue for 6ix9ine and his music. Following a string of more viral hits, then arrived the release of 6ix9ine's debut album, Dummy Boy, charting as high as number 2 on Billboard, and led by the smash hit single Fifi featuring Nicki Minaj, which would also reach double platinum certification as well. Before then, as we can see here, 6ix9ine's Fifi plaque actually got auctioned off to fans for $6,000. Along with 20 other of his music plaques that we're about to learn, including the one for his debut album. But yet, while at this point after Fifi, 6ix9ine was still at least somewhat respected as a rapper. As 2019 rolled around though, 6ix9ine's career was never the same. In 2019, news broke that rapper 6IX9INE was facing the potential of life in prison, as according to the feds, Daniel Hernandez, aka 6IX9INE, was facing numerous charges of racketeering and firearms to just list a few, and had assisted in the shooting at rival 9Trey blood gang at a hotel in Times Square. Thus, as a result, with 6IX9INE's buzzing rap career also facing life behind bars too. That was until this happened.
Mr. Hernandez, how old are you? 23. You're old. You go by any other names? Yes. What are those names?
He ain't speaking in Mexican on that in this bitch.
Tekashi 6IX9INE. Mr. Hernandez, do you recognize anyone in the courtroom who was a member of 9Trey when you were a member? Yes.
In February of 2019, TMZ reported that Tekashi 6IX9INE was officially striking a deal with the feds, both pleading guilty to his 9 counts and then even agreeing to testify against his co-defendants, with the New York Times literally stating, Mr. Hernandez was, quote, an eager and cooperative witness, and provided an insider's look into the activities of the 9Trey gang. Now, the 9Trey gang is a blood gang that was founded decades ago, and who 6IX9INE used to be cool with members even appearing in his old Gummo video. However, 6IX9INE did not stop there, going on to then talk about fellow rappers in the industry too, such as exposing that Trippie Redd was supposedly a gang member, as well as fellow New York superstar Cardi B. Although, according to his new interview, as he basically directs the editing clip for Vlad as he goes, 6IX9INE wants to make one thing very clear.
Grab this clip, this DJ Vlad clip, make it a split screen, and see who was asking me questions. Harv's attorney cross-examined me and brought them up. I never spoke on Cardi B. I said her name came up. But the narrative to make 6IX9INE look bad is like, yo, he was on everybody.
Regardless of who actually brought the names up first, though, in court, 6IX9INE's decision to snitch on the stand in 2019 quickly destroyed his reputation in hip-hop. As I'm sure you guys know, gaining the reputation of a rat is about the #1 worst thing that can happen to you as a rapper. Like, we have seen countless rap careers end for this exact reason. And at least at first, 6IX9INE looked like he would be another. However, in exchange for his cooperative behavior in court, though, and being a good little 6IX9INE, after prosecutors then asked the judge to issue a much lighter sentence, 6IX9INE's sentence was instead reduced to only 2 years, thanks to his helpful testimony against the 9Trey gangsters, which, as you'd expect,
life
All the perks with the PF.
to only 2 years is insane.
You're originally facing 47 years. By the way, do you ever think you're actually going to do 47 years?
I don't know. I've never been locked up in no federal jail. I said I'm taking 47 years. Maybe they chop it in half, give me 20 years. You know what I mean? I don't know. I never been to that.
All numbers regardless.
Yeah, I pled guilty 47 years.
Rather than 47 years, 6IX9INE was instead home even sooner thanks to the COVID pandemic and lockdown, transferring him to supervised house arrest in May of 2020. But with no other rappers wanting to come close to him due to his new reputation, with his back totally against the wall, 6IX9INE pulled off the impossible. If there's one thing you can't deny about 6IX9INE, is that he knows exactly how to market himself for views. Like the very first time that he went live on Instagram after jail, 6IX9INE literally broke the Instagram record for the most viewers ever in a live stream, with over 2 million accounts tuning in all at once, as 6IX9INE did this.
Listen, we can't beef. There's no beef. I'm the king. Y'all know this.
The LGBT community was fucking with this nigga and the illegal immigrants. Nigga, they was knocking this nigga out. Pause. Nigga, they was going crazy.
It's over for you. Y'all could never cooperate with the government and come back. Y'all could never do that. I'm a living legend at the age of 24 years old. You hear me? Look at these 1.6 million.
Finally getting the chance to speak his mind, and of course talk more shit. As he says, quote, I tell everyone I am a troll, which was also obvious from the first video that 6IX9INE released after jail, with the typical 6IX9INE title, Gooba. Released in May of 2020 after getting permission from the judge, this new single, Gooba, would go on to break the YouTube record for the most views in the first 24 hours on a hip-hop music video. Now, were all of these views real? Well, we'll get into that more in a sec. But by now fully embracing his new image of a rat, obviously 6IX9INE's strategy seemed to be working, at least in terms of views. Again, drawing in 2 million users and almost breaking the entire Instagram app before then, going on to show off his crazy jewelry collection.
That's 200K to 300.
Let me take all this jewelry up. I don't give my old jewelry back to get new jewelry. This is $500,000. $500,000. Look at the diamonds in them teeth. And nobody got this watch. Well, I think like 2 people got it, but if you don't got this watch, we can't beef. Me and you are not in the same bracket.
According to 6IX9INE, his instantly recognizable Bruce the Shark chain, you can see right here, was said to have been purchased for over $500,000. However, little did 6ix9ine know that in just 5 short years later, the IRS would end up auctioning off his precious shark chain for a lot cheaper, $60,000. But by now you are probably wondering, if 6ix9ine was breaking all of these records with his music and on YouTube, then how did his music career crash down so fast? And in my opinion, there's no better place to start than his next single. While essentially everyone on the internet, including myself, believed that no mainstream artist would ever work with him again after his court case, 6ix9ine's second song back quickly proved us wrong. Teaming up again with one of the biggest female rappers, Nicki Minaj, debuting at #1 on the Billboard charts, marking a first of 6ix9ine's career, this new collaboration titled Trolls was a massive success. Or at least, so we initially thought.
Didn't I tell you, nigga? Fuck you, I can't be stopped, nigga. Didn't I tell you? Number #1, nigga.
Of course, New York people gonna stick in New York.
This shit can't be possible without y'all.
A few moments later.
Trolls goes to #1, but then fell to 34 its second week, which was the largest position drop from a #1 in charts history.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I was so heavy on bashing Billboard that they trying to make me look bad. You know what I mean? I bashed them and I exposed the world, right? That you can buy #1s. I exposed the world that these numbers are inflated. I exposed the music industry, right?
Revealing to us that 6ix9ine and his team instead paid their way for Trolls to go #1, something that is unfortunately pretty common in the music industry, such as Young Thug most recently, who admitted to inflating Gunna's album. However, here in the case of 6ix9ine though, this was pretty obvious, as Trolls would not only break the record for the biggest position drop after the first week in chart history, but then by the 4th week, Trolls was totally off of the charts. Yet it took years for 6ix9ine to finally admit this, because back then, he initially tried to argue that he was being blackballed by the industry, claiming that streaming platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music were no longer showing him any support, and instead were now hiding all of his new releases on their platforms.
So I'm kind of in a weird space because now
So you feel like you're getting cheated?
Yeah, well, I know I'm getting cheated, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like they're making me pay the price for outing that, you know what I'm saying?
So you're saying they basically denied you some of these other promotional things, like when you open up your
everybody
phone.
else gets. I can show you right now, and then like you can open up your phone.
Even
Even
taking it to the news to try and show proof, 6ix9ine argued that this blackball treatment would only get worse with his 2020 album. Titled Tattletales, and with this rainbow cover art, combined with selling a lower 55,000 in first week sales, this project in 2020 was more proof of where 6ix9ine's music career was headed, which was not in the right direction.
It's getting to the point where the mythology of him is beginning to overshadow his music. Many of the tracks he's been dropping as of late only serve as another opportunity for him to stir the pot. In a way, I know it makes sense because he rose to prominence as a rapper, but it's still kind of easy to see 6ix9ine as more of a social media clown than a musician today.
As the next few years went on, this statement by Fantana would prove even more true. To continue to try and push the narrative that his music was being hidden, in January of 2024, with no announcement or any type of rollout, out of nowhere, 6ix9ine decided to release his latest project, Blackballed. And to be honest, don't feel like you're alone if you had no idea this album ever existed. At a total of 9 tracks, each in that typical 6ix9ine sound and style, which is also a big reason why interest in his music has plummeted. He's never really evolved as an artist. But the most notable feature on this project, though, a surprising verse from Kodak Black. Being the street and gang-affiliated rapper that he is, I don't think anyone ever expected Kodak Black to link up with 6ix9ine for a song. And while you might be wondering, why does he look so happy hugging up next to a snitch? After hearing, though, that Kodak was literally paid $1 million for this one verse, it definitely makes a little more sense.
It's an M. That's an M, my man. One song. Man.
That was 6ix9ine, though.
It's like, what the man, I understand the value of $1. I don't even know the niggas he told on. And I ain't even from over there. Niggas said some shit like, nigga, that's y'all rap. And they're like, yo, 6ix9ine paid $1 million for Kodak. No, it was their song. They paid $1 million. We did the video. We shot it. When Fume was like, if we're going to pay $1 million, we want the ownership of the record, because how are we going to recoup on that?
Revealing that their recent track was actually a collab song with a vape company called Fume, although he no doubt got paid a nice bag from it. 6ix9ine's latest album would fail to reach any of the charts, and again, absolutely no one talked about it. At this point, I think it's safe to say that 6ix9ine's peak as a music artist is long gone. Yet, why is he still relevant then? Pretty much any other rapper in 6ix9ine's shoes would have already called it quits a while ago, especially after what went down in March. Right before bouncing back and securing the biggest paycheck that DJ Vlad has ever spent on one single interview, first arrived this wild headline to kick off the year. 6ix9ine's jewelry, music plaques, and designer bags are being auctioned off by the IRS, with proof to show they weren't lying. Back in March of 2025, an online auction went live, selling away some of 6ix9ine's most prized possessions, including everything from his rainbow grills here, selling for $6,000, which I really hope they wash first, his iced-out jigsaw pennant for $17K, multiple Rolexes and very expensive watches, as well as, again, his RIAA plaques for all of the biggest hits and albums of his career.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Of course, the white people gonna be buying that shit like crazy.
$3,100. $3,100 with shipping, with taxes, and the auction fees. We're looking at $3,968. We got it, baby! If you can't tell, I'm extremely nervous. I waited over 2 months for this moment and spent over $10,000 on this video. My heart was beating out of my chest. And finally, it's Tekashi. Can I give this back to you, bro?
Damn.
This was a 2-month-long process for 2 seconds. We'll get him next time.
Despite ignoring this YouTuber who tried to return the gold plaque for his old Day 69 mixtape, which will instead now hang forever in this guy's living room. In total, 63 of Tekashi's personal items were all put up for auction to fans with money to blow, with his Bruce the Shark chain that we saw earlier going for the most at $60K. However, how did the IRS even get these items in the first place? A year prior, back in 2024, news broke that 6ix9ine's house in Florida had been raided by IRS agents, with multiple sports cars then seized by the government in these viral clips that flooded social media, which, as 6ix9ine himself then tried to explain, all happened because he had failed to pay his taxes.
Addressing the IRS situation. Listen, a lot of y'all don't understand how the shit work because y'all not on that tax bracket, right? What happened was that I didn't report my taxes for 2020, 21, 22, and 23. Those years, I done paid $6 million, $2 million in 2018, $1.3 million 2019. For the year of 2020, I'm at $1.8 million. Over $6 million went to the IRS.
Claiming that he simply forgot to pay his taxes for 4 years. For the internet, though, to see someone like 6ix9ine, who has certainly had no problem flexing his deep pockets in the past.
Got one house right here, 2 houses right here, 3 houses right here, 4 houses right here, 5 houses right here.
How they seize all your money on your property?
Dictate everything you do.
For the internet to hear that 6ix9ine's chains and plaques were being auctioned off made for perfect viral headlines. However, with that being said, is all press good press?
No.
Well, 2 things were made certain after this news. First was that basically the entire world now believed that 6ix9ine is broke, adding on to his piling embarrassment.
I don't think he's broke,
will likely never see any of those original music plaques that he had earned ever again. As we saw, though, during his recent stream with academics, 6ix9ine has slowly been rebuilding his wall of lost plaques, thanks to the help of Elliot Grange, aka the CEO of Atlantic Records.
Wait, the IRS took the plaque? Yeah, look, this is Elliot Grange. Elliot gifted me that. Oh, shit. Elliot, why the f*** took the plaques? Nigga, that's just memorabilia. Did they sell for mad bread? It did? You're lying. Niggas bought your plaque for 50 bands?
There's no 15 bands on there.
Yo, if that nigga Drake saw that, would destroy that shit. He beefing with Lucian and Elliot. Wait, so none of these are the ones issued to you?
Wow. That's lit.
6ix9ine definitely still has a long way to go to get all the missing plaques, but when it comes to stuff like his jewelry, there's no replacing items like this one-of-one chain. However, the second thing that this viral IRS auction did was, once again, launch 6ix9ine's name right back into the top of conversation. The truth is, 6ix9ine has mastered the art of turning viral hate into millions of views and maximum attention. Whether positive or most times negative, social media loves the unexpected, and that is exactly what 6ix9ine brings. From examples such as him dissing late rappers like King Von, pulling up to the Ops Hood in dangerous places like O-Block, or most recently, attempting to jump in on all the snitching allegations between Young Thug and Gunna.
I never told on my friends.
I didn't even want to speak on the shit when he was talking about
niggas wasn't my mans, nigga. Y'all know they wasn't my mans. That's what hurt y'all. These niggas is telling on their friends. Niggas didn't even ask him. Niggas said, take my number. Here's my number. Call me, but don't tell nobody about my number. What?
When it comes down to to it, 6IX9INE's strategy is simply to gain attention via controversy and then instantly release a new song, hoping that one will eventually hit like the old days. So, has it been working? Although the gaining attention part definitely has, 6IX9INE's music career, though, is continuing to look worse by the day. Sure, he's tried the classic route of tapping into Latin music, and while you may be saying, yo, his music videos still get millions of views, considering that he literally just admitted to botting his stats to Vlad and paying for streams, personally, I would not trust most of 6IX9INE's numbers. Combined with having already burnt all of his bridges with other rappers, while today 6IX9INE may be staying in million-dollar mansions in South Florida, as he will even tell you, 6IX9INE is still in deep financial trouble.
You know, I did something that I didn't know how to manage my money. So
you can tell.
And my accountant wasn't writing nothing off. So I got into a problem with the IRS after me paying. So right now I done paid $6 million to the IRS. I think they want right now, me talking to you right now, present time, I think they want $2 million more.
Another $2
million for some shit. So that's $8 million.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
To Deshae Frost last week that he used to not know how to manage his money in the past. Well, we just covered that 6IX9INE's music career is currently buried in the dump. According to DJ Academics, at least, it is one secret agreement in 6IX9INE's contract that is forcing him to link up with all these streamers, which is the reason why he is still relevant today.
This is how much content content matters.
Academics don't help these
like
rappers
6IX9INE got a
get
re-up
up.
on like a
Get up,
record deal. The offer they sent him, they say,
real
yo,
niggas.
you have to stream, which is crazy. Really? Got to stream.
You might get taken out.
You know, they got shit to check your numbers and how hot you are, and they're like, yo, off of the last few months of you doing podcasts or whatever, there's an uptick in your music streams. So if we gonna sign you for more music, we're gonna leverage the fact that when you do content, your streams goes up. So we're gonna force you contractually to do it.
Unfortunately, them the niggas they get money on too. Niggas who don't know how to money management.
Here in 2025, 6IX9INE is actually contractually required to be a content creator alongside his music. Now, in my opinion, like Academics also agreed, this seems like a good deal for both sides. And 6IX9INE is already seeing the benefits. In just this past month of October alone, besides your classic 20v1 style YouTube video next to Charleston White, Tekashi 6IX9INE has also been linking up with multiple streamers and influencers, resulting in viral clips such as these.
And he listens to when I say something. He listen to me. Like you like the alligator talker? Come, look. Just try to record him. I'm gonna stand here and call his name. You see him, Kim? Yes. Alright, just record it. Alright, Cocoriling. He's moving? Yeah, he is. Cocoriling. Yeah, that nigga listen to me, bro. Nigga, you're the alligator whisperer.
I hate 6IX9INE's music, but I can't lie, he is hilarious. The top comment reads, 6IX9INE needs to be a full-time streamer, putting his full personality out on display in these live streams. While various funny clips have been circulating, nothing compared to his new interview with DJ Vlad.
I initially said no because the amount of money was too high. Right, I never paid this much for an interview.
And you're not going to say how much you paid him? I think you should not, so I back that.
Despite initially saying he would never do it, Vlad would not only change his mind and interview 6IX9INE, but again dropped the biggest bag that he has ever spent for this 3.5-hour interview, which it's clearly paying off.
These niggas is capping. Lil TJ almost lost his life in a fucking Chipotle, nigga. Getting a burrito. Why am I even beefing with him? Nigga almost lost his life over some Chipotle chicken, nigga. I'm not beefing with you, nigga.
Pulling up to 6IX9INE's Florida house at 1 a.m., and with this gigantic lawn chair in the background, released in typical Vlad channel fashion and chopped up into over 30 segments, all of these clips are racking up millions of views every day across every social media platform, as 6IX9INE has once again become impossible to avoid. This time, though, opting to wear this purple short-haired wig.
To remind you, bald-headed, no edges, having ass hoes. Let me just cut to the chase. This right here is my hair. I do this. Look, and I'm going to say it real quick, yo, dog. Get my face right here. I do this because I want to do it. You do it because you have to do it. This is bull.
You want a wig. So sassy. No, what the fuck is you arguing with bitches about wigs? The hell? You argue with bitches who hair longer. The fuck?
After watching watching their interview absolutely explode, Vlad and 6ix9ine are even running it back for a part 2. And, of course, as he always does, in an effort to try and capitalize on this virality, 6ix9ine just released a new single. This one titled Facts, Way Out Call Me. But again, especially compared to his recent streams and viral clips, this song made zero noise. Here in 2025, whether he wants to admit it or not, the truth is 6ix9ine is no longer famous for his music. But instead, 6ix9ine is now simply just a social media personality rather than a rapper.
I'm not gonna interview 6ix9ine. I'm not gonna stream with 6ix9ine because it's a trend. It's not cool. Being me, I'm really cooler than you.
Nigga, everybody streaming with Richie. What the fuck are you talking about? You nigga love cotton money on it. What you gonna fucking stream with your
I'm really him. I'm really me. I don't gotta act. I don't gotta.
The same thing you said, we gotta bring up some money off this shit.
One thing that 6ix9ine has definitely never lost is his confidence. And in an industry like live streaming that feeds off of chaos, I'm honestly not surprised by his recent resurgence. But with a contract now that literally requires him to stream, 6ix9ine is not going away.
Oh yeah, he did that contract in Rumble.
Alright, we back. So yeah, you see from that bit, 6ix9ine, man, it's like every time 6ix9ine start popping out, it's like he asking for trouble. He just can't shut his fucking mouth and just be a nice informant rat. This nigga just out here doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know he got a lot of ops, because he talk a lot of shit. And the Island Boys not like that. I don't know if they did have anything to do with it, but 6ix9ine said he don't think he did. But it's sad how 6ix9ine whole career turned out to be his ups and his downs. Like, the only people who keeping him afloat is the interviewers. You know what I'm saying? The streamers. Which, I mean, at that point, I mean, he's still famous, but it's not like you're rapping. Man, I don't know if he's making the same amount of money on it either. But hey, that's what I want to talk about. We out this bitch, hood and outside, big crippin' gang, outside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.